Boom, Rock's in the room and Rock's on the mic for another episode of Hot Tips for the Hot IA and Real Estate News for Real People today. And today I've calmed down some. I had to sleep on this. I've got an epic rant for you that I'm going to keep low key and tell you how a real estate agent in this day and age, a particular real estate agent that really may or may not represent your best interest, is a detriment to your objectives and processes. I'm going to tie these all together as both a hot tip for the Hot IA and a real estate news for real people episode. And what is a hot IA? That's you, or an aspiring you-ness to a homeowner of the information age. It's the information age, folks. It's really simple to prepare, present, and represent your real estate transactions in this day and age. Why would you hire a real estate agent? To do what you don't know how to do, and maybe to prepare the information about the property that you would like presented to the marketplace and represented properly, right? You would think. So let me ask you a couple things real quick. When you go into the store and you're shopping for, we'll just say, coffee, and you're looking at all the pretty labels and they draw you in, you're enticed by whatever brand or color, or, there's a lot that goes into the marketing mindset. But then when you read the label, you expect what is on the label to be what is in the package, right? This is what it contains of the ingredients. And they even break it down to the specifics of what it is that you're purchasing, the information. I'm going to tie that in also to another service provider. And I want you to understand, how do you feel when you go to a mechanic and they tell you that it's going to cost you $3,000 to fix it, right? You trust this particular individual due to whatever referral or reference that you were given, and you take it to this mechanic and you trust them, but then you decide to get a second opinion or find out if you can do it yourself. And then you find out that you can do it for $124. How do you feel about that? Because I'm going to tie this in to what I'm hoping the real estate industry will up their game by truly supporting their value with quantifiable and qualifiable services and options for their clients. But I want to tell you this story about how I have experienced the pain of the consumer in trying to purchase a property that was represented. Now, these folks that I'm serving, they're having a hard time right now. Folks, it's a seller's market. It is so simple to sell a property. Why are you going to pay somebody $20,000 to do that for you when you can do it for $124? We'll get to that. But this particular property, they have been going for months now. They have a 5-hour drive to get into town. It costs them $700 on average to come into town to look at a property. But now they have to look at a property to make sure, and they have to act fast and they have to be on it. So the information that is provided for the consumer to look at is something that you would like to think they could trust. Now, as a real estate agent, I got a long time ago, got sick and tired of just reading the same old realtorese, move-in ready, completely updated, fully moved, just amazing, immaculately maintained property. And then you walk in and it needs a coat of paint and the carpet smell like cat piss. Our job in marketing is to underpromise, overdeliver. Please. So my clients are driving up 5 hours to look at this property. It looks lovely online, and the narrative that is written is this meticulously maintained cabin out in the woods on 3 acres. It just looked ideal for them. And it may well be ideal for them, but we're never going to know. Because what happened was it was a rainy day. It was a little cool. We had scheduled this the day before. They drove all the way up to see this place. We walk in inside this meticulously maintained property while from the outside. Now, they had received information. They had sent out a reconnaissance mission by a family member and said, there may be settling issues on this place. The foundation, there's some stuff going on in the block and the crawl space that may look like you want to look into a little deeper. So they were already on their heels a little bit. And your job, homeowner of the information age, when you are selling a property, is to do diligence, not to stage your property and make it look okay for all showings and pictures and stuff, but to do diligence, do the paperwork, the information, all of the surveys, floor plans, past appraisals, past inspections, get it pre-inspected. Information is what you can provide people to make a confident decision on. So they walk into this meticulously maintained property. And one of the first things that we're having to deal with is that we walk in and realize there's a note on the counter that says, the cat can come and go. And we're kind of looking around. It's got this huge stairwell. And we walk in and it just really looks good right off the bat. And they walk around through the kitchen and walk up this stairway. And then we start noticing big, fat settling cracks. Had no idea. Okay, we're not properly informed that property has cosmetic or critical, it's going to feel critical, but wasn't informed about the settling cracks, and they were everywhere, and they were wide, and they looked egregious. It was scary. All right, folks. So then we're walking upstairs and start noticing it's got lovely light, natural light, skylights everywhere. Guess what? Water staining around every skylight. And this is what's really unfortunate, because these folks had started to fall in love with the idea and with this place. And they're looking around and their heart is getting broken. They've been overpromised, underdelivered. Because now they're looking around going, wow, there's all these water leaks and all this other stuff going on. Wow. I mean, it seemed to be priced reasonably. I don't know. I can't make a good decision to sit there and think this may be $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 worth of extra work involved in this place is what they're feeling. Now, here's where it gets really, really, really messed up. Well, no, I'm not even going to get there yet. It gets messed up here in a minute. But we look around, they're just like having their heart broken. They've driven 5 hours up to see this. They're looking around going, wow, this place needs $50,000, $60,000 worth of work. It feels really hard to them. We go out into the garage. I notice a water spot in the garage. Go up in the attic. It's a live leak. It was a rainy day. Did I mention? And this roof is leaking actively. So we're really not feeling at all comfortable with this property. And then they go away. And I call the agent up and I say, hey, these folks were expecting a meticulously maintained property, and that's not what they were given to view. He said, oh, they've had all the foundation work done, and they had the roof and the skylights repaired and remediated back in 2016. Oh, really? That would have been good to know. We have no idea still. Could you get me that documentation? Because they do love the property. And if it's merely cosmetic and needs, the popcorn still yet removed and repainted, and if it just needs cosmetic touches, it may only be $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 worth of work that you would think would have been done in a meticulously maintained property, but it was not. But they're sitting there saying, okay, maybe it's not a $50,000 fix, but it's still a $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 cosmetic job to make it right and move in ready. And he says, well, they have that documentation on the foundation. They had the concrete pier put in and on the load bearing wall, and they, replaced all the roof and the skylights and everything. I'm like, wow, that would have been really good to know. Would you mind getting me that documentation? Because if you can help my folks feel confident and assured that this is a good purchasing decision for them and their family, they would really love this property in this setting. And he just couldn't provide them. Listen, folks, everything you need to succeed in selling a house, the list of information that you should provide to a buyer, it's in the links below. Please, sellers of real property, get this information. Also, my ebook, 101 Tips on How to Sell Your House Without an Agent. But this agent didn't provide it, hasn't yet provided it. But my buyers decided, you know what? It's just too scary. It sounds too risky. And guess what's worse is the sellers probably did the real work and didn't want to do the cosmetic work to the specifications that the buyer might prefer. Maybe they would have had that built into their pricing as an allowance. We understand that it has some settling cracks that you may want fixed, but this is what, quite frankly, folks, misrepresentation. Okay, not representing a property properly. It's information that people need to make confident and just purchasing decisions in this day and age. Folks can't they're getting very emotional anyway. They'll I almost told them just write an offer with $20,000 worth of allowance for cosmetics, but they just couldn't feel confident enough. And that is a disservice to all of the marketing world with regards to real estate. And I really am, this is part of why I believe sellers should know and have what I'm giving you. It's real easy. And please ensure, and if you have to, demand that your agent under promise and over deliver. Houses are like people. They're all a little messed up. Lead off with the weaknesses, develop goodwill. If that narrative in that marketing had said, we understand that there are cosmetic issues still with work that we have already performed to fortify and remediate any issues with this property. We understand that and have priced it or make allowances accordingly. Then they would have felt, my buyers would have felt much more confident about, oh, well, we expected this. And look, what color paint would you like, sweetie? I'm sorry, folks. It's really simple. And what really makes me mad is that here's a representative of other people's interest that's supposed to preserve, protect, and promote their interests that didn't provide the information in a clear, honest, trustworthy fashion so that folks can make a reasonable decision. And that's it. Rant over. Yeah, I can do it. And I really do love you guys. I want you to know that you can do this. I'm the only real estate broker I know that is determined to teach you how to fire me. And everything you need, again, is in the link below. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of good, valuable information there. And this is the longest rant that I've been on in a while, but it is important and critical to you, hot IAs. Much love. Blessings on you and your house, and make it a great day. Rock.